Hello and welcome. I'm the Autistic Modeler. Today, we're going to talk about this series of cars. Model King put them out probably around 2007-ish. So it's been several years ago. We're going to actually do a full build on the Monte Carlo. As you can see, I've done the Laguna Chevrolet and the Mercury Cyclone there. I'll zoom in so you can see them closer. And we got the brand new Torino still from 2007 to build also. But we're going to focus in on the Monte Carlo, and I'll show you the other two cars. Come on in. Okay, the Laguna Chevrolet, I did it just like the box. The chassis is pretty primitive. It goes together well. It is a two-piece style chassis, so you have to watch how you measure it and put it together so you don't get the wheelbase messed up. The engine, it's like a big block Chevrolet. Pretty basic, but it makes a nice looking kit, and it looks the part, and it's fun. This was tricky to paint. It's 3 colors, so a lot of paint work involved in there. I'll show you a little bit of the masking I did on that car. And then we got the Mercury Cyclone. This is a great car too. There's our 429 Ford engine in there, and built just like the box. Again, the bottom is a 2-piece chassis. Pretty basic overall, but you got to remember these are from the early 70s, mid 70s. The technology just wasn't as good, so they did with what they could, and I think it looks pretty neat, and they sit really well. Not really much modifications had to be done to it. I think they're great kits. They're fun, little fiddly, kind of tricky to get it all set up right, but they are fun, and we'll show you how to build this one here coming up. Now here you can see me masking off the body and everything to make it actually 3-tone. It took several amounts of tape and everything on the hood, the rear, and the roof and sides. A lot of work there to do this. It was tricky how to paint it, and the hood decal was tricky, and it was really a fun build though. All right, let's get to that Monte Carlo. All right, let's open up this Monte Carlo. Look at that box art. Isn't that great? Really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna make it just like the boxes. I think that's really cool. That way I have the whole set. All right, let's open it. All right, here it goes. Right away, we got these cool decals. Now these come with 2 full sheets of decals. Pretty cool. And there's our book. Well, apparently I got some other stuff in there from something else. Don't belong. There's our book there. Okay. And when I actually purchased this, the seller saw it was damaged, and he threw another set of decals in, which was very nice of him. So that was great. There's our chrome pieces. Pretty basic stuff. Nice though. There's our body. I liked how Round 2 at the time put these supports so the roof won't get crushed. That was pretty cool. All right, there's our hood. And some roll cage pieces and seat. Looks pretty nice. All right. Looks like it comes with a gas can. That's pretty neat. That's the other half fell in the bottom. Right here. There it is. Pretty neat stuff. All right, there's part of our roll cage. Right there. Fire extinguisher pieces. Pretty neat. There's our wheels. Headers. Big old scooper. I'm not going to use that. That must be from another version. Radiator, and then obviously a stock air filter thing. That doesn't belong there either. Left over from other versions. There's our, well, this is actually from a Malibu, so that's kind of odd. That got thrown in there. Our axle. I guess a piece of the roll bar. There's our engine right there. And, well, it's got a blower belt in there. That doesn't belong either. There's starter, battery, front cover, valve covers and cylinder head, air filter piece, steering wheel. Pretty good. There's our chassis. Actually, the interior bottom, I'm sorry. And then our dash, some kind of filler panel for the front. Chassis here. Pretty basic. almost like a factory car other than a gas tank. But it'll do it pretty nice. We can paint it up nice. And in the box, well, there's another steering wheel off of a different version. Some wheel backs. And I'm assuming this is like the battery box or something in the back. Maybe the rear axle cooler thing. I'm not sure. We'll find out. And there's our tires. 2 metal rods for the axle. So that's it's a pretty basic kit. It's going to be fun though. All right, let's do this. Okay, let me show you the tape I used to tape this off here, because we're going to paint this blue, like the box there. I use this Tamiya tape. Works really well. It doesn't leak or anything like that. And this is the size I used. That. And then the green tape is just regular hardware store tape. I get the painter's kind of tape. It's inexpensive and works pretty well. Now when you're taping this off, just go on the outside. Make sure you hit that inside, because you'll get a spray that'll go and then leak through. You don't want that. So let's go ahead and take this over to the paint booth. Paint the blue on it.
Neither could say goodbye, but when
All right, it's that time again. That's right. Final assembly. All right, let's take a look at what we got here so far. Here's our body. That turned out really nice. Decals went on very nicely. You saw how I put those reinforcements for the windshield in. Here's our interior. That turned out really well too. Now, putting the interior together, it's supposed to have a water jug thing going right there. It shows it in the book, but mine was a sealed kit and it was nowhere to be found, so we just left it off. And there's a fire extinguisher. Not sure how to get to that behind the seat, but that's where it says it goes. And to kind of detail it up, came with an instrument decal we put on there. Turned out really well. There's our chassis. Minor weathered on it, not much. Our rear bumper, front wheels, and here's our engine. Looks like a big block Chevrolet. Front bumper, other wheel and stuff. And then it came with this cool little gas can. So I kind of decorated that up. That looks pretty neat. And yeah, the rest was just push it all together and we finished. All right, stick with us. All right, here we are, all done. The 72 Monte Carlo by Model King. This was a great kit. Several years old. This came out in 2007. And I went through and built it just like the box here. And I got it down a little lower in the front. And you're asking, how'd you do that? Well, originally I followed the directions, had the metal rod in the front wheels. So I eliminated that. Took that out. It's like, how did I get the wheels on? Well, I glued the wheels right to the bottom, so that way it sits down lower. It sits nice and low like a nice car, stock car would be. So this was a pretty fun build. It looks the part, went together fairly well. There's our engine. Looks pretty good. And for an older kit, I thought it was pretty neat. And it came with this little gas can. Decorated that up, made it go with it. So this was pretty fun. If you can find one of these, I recommend it. It's been reissued under different versions. So go ahead and take a look for it. And thanks for watching. This has been the Autistic Modeler. Happy modeling.